Come on, Soda Pop, let's go.
Lake on top of a hill.
Well,
There's a hill that they're proposing to build the indoor aquatic center into. This, I think, you're confusing. What are you asking about?
You were mentioning you had this natural, they have this natural lake that they built in Minneapolis.
They're building it.
Sandy Beach and all of that.
6.1.
And I don't see that the space is there or the money to be spent there. That's a lot
It's
of
less money, or it would be less money for us for that.
Ma'am, do you have a question or a comment?
I just say that, let's move, there's lots of other issues
Thank
for
you,
the
thank
city
you.
that we
Thank you.
need to
Thank you
listen
very much.
about.
Thank you. That was, I think that's a fair comment. And again, I think it's a fair comment. And again, love the talk, love the discussion. This is great. But I think you're right. There's all kinds of topics we can cover, but this is good. Other topics, anything? Yes.
Disregard the indoor pool. There are some of us.
Sorry, I tried. I tried. I'm sorry. And folks, I am trying. I think we're, but it is a listening and learning session. There are no rules. Remember, I said that. So, but we are trying, ma'am. So go right ahead.
Disregard the indoor pool. It's true that I'm one of those who prefers to have an outdoor pool that's over, but our group believes that Sioux Falls is more than ready for an indoor pool. One of the places that we feel is a great possibility is the Stanford Sports Complex. We've spoken with the people at the Stanford Sports Complex. We are told that in order to have land available up there or whatever, a person must come and ask. It's our understanding, they don't just offer it, you have to ask. It's our understanding that the city of Sioux Falls has never attempted to check into the Stanford Sports Complex, and I'm wondering why.
The aquatics master plan that was asked for by the city council, one of their goals was to evaluate all the site locations across the city. Okay, included in that, of course, was looking at the Stanford Sports Complex. Thank you. Other questions on any topics?
What are your feelings on Charter Amendment C? The city council assisting you in hiring and terminating a city attorney.
No problem with it.
No problem with it.
No.
Okay.
No, and never.
No, I just wondered what you thought.
No problem with it. Yeah, and I can explain that. I'll do my best, guy.
Yeah.
There. Today, and that's kind of leads us back to the comment about the city attorney. The city attorney doesn't report just to the mayor, or just to the executive branch of government, or just to the city council, the legislative branch of government. The city attorney is there for all of you, for all the citizens. Okay, and so that is why this charter amendment that Scott is talking about what it is now if a city attorney is going to be let go, now you have, if you want to, this charter amendment says you have to have at least 50% or 50 plus 1 of the city council vote in favor of that before they can be released. Okay, so no, I have not had a problem with it. Thank you. Yes, sir. Go right ahead, sir.
I don't know if I was invited.
No, everybody's invited.
I got one question.
Sure. Here you go.
It might seem different.
We like different.
But the building that's next to the police station, where the recovering alcoholics are.
Safe home.
Okay, safe home.
They're not recovering though.
Can you put the mic up to your mouth?
Someone that lives there
Thanks.
has been staying there for an extended period of time, and he hasn't got a job.
Right.
They feed him, and it's like a safe place. He can just stay there.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why they're...
No, very good. Thank you.
Why they don't pursue them to go get a job.
Right.
Some of them can't work.
You can just live there. I don't know how long it can go on.
Very good.
But I just feel,
Very good.
it's too safe for them guys just to sit there and just stay there.
Very good. That's what that's called is it's called the safe home. Safe home. And that was a county driven project in Minnehaha County, sir. Are you from Sioux Falls? Great. That's Minnehaha County. That was a program that they put together called Safe Home. And the goal was to take homeless folks that have some pretty dramatic challenges in their life, most of them involving alcohol. Okay? And instead of doing, and again, this is, I hope it's not too simplified, but there was a problem where there were some homeless folks who were causing issues every night. And so what was happening is that they'd get picked up, they'd get thrown in the jail, then they'd get released, then they'd get picked up, thrown in the jail, get released, and it was this vicious cycle. The county wanted to try a program called Safe Home. And instead now, they provide them a safe place to sleep and hopefully begin their road to a better life and recovery. Now, I don't know if there's rules for how long you can stay there or not.
The county did it. Actually,
Yeah.
they've already come to the conclusion it costed less money to do that than to allow it to keep going, period. And it makes sense. I mean,
my issue is I know someone, and the thing of it is, some of them don't have license.
they can't drive down.
Jobs.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing of it is I just know that he's staying there beyond.
Isn't that right, Gerald?
He can just stay there and just get fed, and there needs to be a thing set where after 8 months, we're gonna get you a license, or we're gonna get you working in the system. You can't just sit
Gerald Bennigan is actually a county commissioner, and so he heard that. And Gerald, the comment was, this gentleman feels that if you're going to go to the safe home, there should be a limit on how long you should stay there, and then after that, move on. So you don't have to answer, Gerald. But thank you. But thank you, sir. That's a good
trying to
point.
say.
Oh, no, exactly. You bet. Good job. That is a county facility. Yeah, very good. Thank you. Other questions or comments on any topic? Good job. Yes, sir. Welcome.
This isn't pertaining to that, but it is.
Go right ahead, sir. You take your time.
I'd like to know who is in charge of find out which traffic laws are enforced or which aren't enforced.
Good job.
I have two of them in particular. One is the gravel trucks that drive around without flood flaps. They never are enforced. And the other one is turn signals. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about the ones that have a gravel truck.
Yes, sir.
I had a windshield broken a couple of years ago. The gentleman in the truck, I called him, and he said, "What do you want me to do about it?" And the next thing he said, "Can you prove it was my rock?"
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, then I went to your secretary. I tried to get to you, but I couldn't. And to find out what the law was on that, she sent me to the police department. The police department told me that, go to the library. I haven't got time for you. And then I talked to the policeman about the stern signals because I've been close to a number of accidents because they don't, and they said that they were told not to enforce that unless it was an accident. Why?
Thank you, sir. Again, welcome. One of the challenges that you face with all of the laws, all the codes, all of the policies that are implemented by the legislative branch is trying to enforce all of them, okay? You know as well as I know that, like, for example, red light running. I think there is more red light running done in this city than it's just amazing how many folks run red lights in this town. And it's frustrating. You see it all the time. And you go, oh my gosh, why can't we catch that person? The problem is that you can't put a police officer or two on all the red lights in our town. And it gets frustrating. For example, like this gentleman was talking about turn signals. How come folks don't use their turn signals? Why is that? And sir, you do have to, the police team, and we've got a good one, but they can't be everywhere. The one thing though I am concerned with, and I'd love to, if you folks ever have any challenges like this, if you are working with the city employee and you don't feel like you're getting good response, you know, I don't know who said go to the library, but let us follow up on that. We do want to be better. We do. And I don't know if you know who said that or not.
By the front window at the police department, and the guy that's sitting there is, that's what he says. You know, he's so, I was just there the other day about hit and runs. And you know what they said? There's a car that's got the neighbors, there isn't one straight part on it. And every month it's different. They told me, did it hit your car? Then we don't have to worry about it. And that's not a very good, I'd at least go out and question the people who got the car. And then the other guy that was sitting, this was the lady, the guy that was sitting in the other place, said, well, I had a car when I was young that I used for rabbit hunting. I just about told you, why don't you write yourself a ticket? Because for years it's been a law, you can't change things with a car.
Or military.
And I tell you
This may go down as the most interesting listening and learning session I've ever had.
I've got another
I mean, you've been to them. Have we ever had one like this before?
No, sir.
No, but it's fun. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. So thank you, sir.
I've got another one.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's hard to get traffic, the turn signals. Go to 6th and Foss, and I'll bet you can pick up 20 an hour, and then you can check them for driver's license and insurance at the same time. Put one cop there and one cop down the line to grab them. One cop wires to the other cop, and you'd have them. You could check for insurance and driver's license.
So
you've got a lot of people without
to this gentleman's point, if there's a particular intersection or particular stretch of road that you're having distinct problems with, let us know what those are.
Everyone in town.
Thank you. Well, I'll finish. But if there is a particular one, other than everyone in town, if there is one, let us know. And then we actually do have the police team. They'll go out there and they'll do like a particular sting on that area to check it out. Or we can have like Heath Hoftizer go out there and maybe improve the lighting or the signage or you know, all kinds of things. So, but I think that gentleman probably hit it best where he said everywhere in town. He's exactly right. He's exactly right. Every place in town, we do have folks at some point in time that break the law when it comes to their driving habits. We know that, and that's very fair. And it's frustrating for the good drivers. It's frustrating because they have to put up with the bad ones. Same thing with neighbors. You've got one bad neighbor that ruins it for 99 good ones. And that's just the way that it is. And it drives those good neighbors crazy. Just like the good drivers. You got the good drivers who are working so hard to obey the laws and be safe. And then all of a sudden you get some crazy driver who just ruins it or actually hurts somebody. So, sir, thank you very much. I'm going to go to this.
One more comment.
Oh, yes. Sir, I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. Okay? Again, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I want to thank you for fixing the traffic light on 33rd and Cliff. And please leave it just the way it is.
Wow.
It's fine. Thank you. And I complained at a listening meeting here about it, and you came out and fixed it.
Very good. Now, she thanked me, okay, for that. Now realize, I don't do all this stuff. I don't do all this stuff. You know, there's been talk about, well, you know, the mayor gets credit for this, or the mayor gets credit for that, or doesn't deserve credit for that. Please understand, you know, you could have a pastor, you can have a coach, you can have the governor. You know, when things are going well, they probably get too much credit. And then when things are going bad, they probably get too much of the blame. Now, thank you for that comment. I don't even know, so it's working well?
Well, you have somebody who's in love with his electric eye.
That's like,
and I think this is more typical than it would seem. I live 3 blocks east of 33rd and Cliff down a hill.
Okay.
When I back out of my driveway, if it's red, that's fine. I drive a block. it turns green. Oh, good, I have a green light, because it takes 1:38 to get through that thing when they change it. So I drive a block and a half, and bing, the car, it's already ready because of that electric eye. You have to be sitting on the corner or you're not going to get it. Now they've got it fixed, so it's on a timer, and it works for a while, and when I see a green light, I'm gonna be able to get through the corner.
That's really cool.
And my blood pressure's gone down 10 points.
You know, that's kind of an interesting thing. I don't know if you folks realize this, but when you go up to the intersections on these lights, underneath are these sensors to know whether there is a car at that intersection or not. And so if it's not sensing a car, then it just keeps the traffic going longer on the road. However, these sensors don't last forever, and especially with our heating, freezing, it's caused some issues. Well, we've actually had some sensors that don't work, and so we've had people sitting there going, "What's going on?" So thank you. You know, I'm going to go back to, if you see something that's happening, like a street light is out, or there's a pothole, or there's a bad neighbor, or there's an intersection that's not working, let us know so we can go check on it. Thank you, sir. Welcome. Yes, good to see you again. It's been a long time.
Thanks for fixing that street light or signal light. But can you do anything about manhole covers?
Oh,
they are down. Some of them are down 2 inches.
Hallelujah.
Tears up the front end.
This is an interesting point. Manhole covers. You know, again, I was blessed by the honor to be your mayor 4 years ago. One of the things that I learned when I was first elected was that we would redo these streets, okay, or we would put a new layer of top lift on some of these streets. Well, within the specs was not to take the manhole cover and put it to the same level as the new top lift. And so basically, we were creating our own potholes. Now, we've improved the specifications on these new things so that they have to, if they add top lift or if they repair a road, they have to bring that manhole cover up to the same level. However, there are still manhole covers out there that are lower, and it creates this ba-boom effect, okay?
West 41st Street is real bad.
Well, and West 41st Street, we might as well talk about that. That's going to be a major project. That's actually going to be our biggest project this year. Get ready, West 41st Street. That all the way from on West 41st Street out to TLS Road. That is the monster of the year. So get ready. But thank you. That was something. It's so fun, and that was one that just made common sense. Going, if we're going to improve the top lift, why don't we lift the manhole cover at the same time? Okay? But let us know. If there's a bad one out there, let us know. We'll go out there, and what they do is they raise it, and then they put that kind of rubbery thing kind of around it. So let us know. Good job. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome. You're going to have to come up here. I'm so sorry. There you go. No, come on over. Come on.
Well, talk about...
You're just talking.
Okay. Talk about intersections and stuff.
Yes, sir.
We got one right down here.
Oh, I know it's right.
It's got that big sign right there from the Montgomery's furniture stuff.
Okay.
Blocking our view from the north.
Okay.
Now somebody's going to pull out, you know, I'm just guilty as anybody else. Someone's going to pull out far enough to look north, and they're going to get hit there. I don't know what we do to get people to move that sign back or what.
Right. Every time I come to Active Generations, we talk about that intersection. And we've actually had Heath Hofdeiser come out here and try to explain, and ask Gerald. Gerald knows that intersection better than anybody because of he's been working to try to make it, you know, safer, easier to access or get off on. Now, I never heard about that sign though before, Gerald. So that is something, if we have to, we'll just have Heath come out here and we'll look at that, or by Cooper, Jeff Schmidt with the signage ordinance. I've not heard that one before. So, but this man can help, he knows where to go to see if we can get that improved.
It's one of those big ones that people hook up to and pull.
Temporary sign.
Oh my.
Mayor, it's a portable sign that's too close to the street.
Okay.
It's supposed to be back away from the street, and I made a call, but the people who own that building have not responded.
Gerald, can you remind me about that one after the meeting today? Because that's an easy one to fix.
It's an employment.
That's an easy, I'm sorry. That's an easy one to fix. We should have had that fixed a long time ago if it's too close. Thank you. Gerald, can I say, can you just, would you just write me a note? That's an easy one. That's an easy one. Good job. Keep it going. That was an easy one, thank goodness. Keep it going, anything. Yes, welcome. Welcome.
I was going to say last fall, I was at a meeting that you were at St. John's.
St. John's.
And we talked about a number of things, but I brought up the issue of problem dogs, barking dogs. And at that time, I told you that we have a few in our neighborhood,
yes.
A couple that are especially bad. One got resolved, he finally got signed, it took almost 2 years.
Yes.
And 3 months later, dogs barking again. I called Sergeant Colwell,
yes.
And he sent somebody out, and that was enough. There has been a problem. I don't know what's going to happen now this spring and summer. I made a decision. I will sell my house. I don't want it anymore. But at that time, I suggested one way to deal with it might be for the city to have like a considerate dog owner media campaign. I think I heard on the news that you're looking at hiring one more animal control officer that you need.
Oh, yes.
Gee, you know, if people from the city, from animal control, maybe humane societies and whatnot, because I think the media would cooperate to be able to go and talk on television, radio stations, wherever, internet, about the problems of barking dogs, messy dogs, whatever, the problems that the city faces in dealing with. It might send a message to dog owners who just aren't paying attention.
Who cares?
I'm not anti-dog. I like dogs, I'm not saying that. But boy, if you've got a dog that's out there barking 45 minutes a day and already have 2 hours, 3, 4 hours like we do, and then you listen to that day after day after day, it's really tough. So I just wanted to suggest that that might be one way to, pretty inexpensively, I think, address the problem to some extent. To just make people aware that, you know, it is a problem and what they can do. You know, you can do the 48-hour barking dog law, you can talk to the city attorney, you can call Sergeant Colwell. Yes. There's a number of things that you can do. And then also when there's campaigns to adopt homeless dogs, to include with that information on being responsible.
Very good. The comment was, Mayor, you know, there's these barking dogs that are just, you know, create havoc, and it's you know, it's hard to live there. In fact, she's to the point where she's actually going to move because of this barking dog. One of the challenges it's probably one of the most frustrating things that as your mayor is that it does seem like the bad neighbors they've got a lot more power than the good neighbors. The laws protect the bad neighbors a lot more than they protect the good neighbors. They do. They do. When for example, like a barking dog neighbor that's caused a problem, you cannot imagine the steps that you have to go through to try to enforce a noise ordinance involving like a barking dog. I'm sure we probably made you to keep logs of when the dog was barking, how long they were barking, and then they have to bark for a consistent amount of days and all this stuff. And then we'll go there and we'll meet with the dog owner and express that there's been complaints, and then they'll stop it for a week, and then it starts over again, so then you have to start the log again. And again, I feel for her. I feel for her. I feel for the neighbor that's got the the neighbor who never mows their lawn. I feel for the neighbor who's got the neighbor who never shovels their sidewalk. You know, I feel bad for the neighbor who's got the junky cars and the junky stuff all over their front yard. And you've got a beautiful neighborhood, and yet you've got one neighbor that's kind of junking it up for everybody. There are rules, and there are codes, and there are laws. But trying to get those enforced against the bad neighbor is just really, really hard. But don't give up. Don't give up. Work with us. Work with us. We are hiring. Code enforcement has been a big thing. We're hiring more code enforcement officers, as was just expressed. We're hiring more folks to help us with the animal control. We are hiring always more police officers and things like that. So don't give up. If you've got a bad neighbor, don't give up. We will work to hold them accountable. So good job. Thank you. Yes, ma'am?
What we were told when we called animal control about barking dogs was that the dogs had to be barking when they got there, when animal control got there.
No, actually, that's not what she said is, Mayor, we were told that the dog has to be barking when we get there. That's actually not the case. But again, kind of going back, we actually have to. What we will say, would you mind keeping a log on when that dog, was barking, and then it helps you folks. There are times, and again, we're kind of going back to this gentleman, and it was a very, very appropriate comment he made. Mayor, oh my gosh, there's all these people breaking these laws or these codes. He's exactly right. But we can't hire 1,000 animal control officers. We can't, folks. Here's reality, and here's reality. You folks are our eyes, and you are our ears. We've got 162,300 people that live here, and we need your help to be our eyes, an extra set of ears, an extra set of, be part of our team. Because if we all work together towards this, just like you were talking about, it will make a difference. So good job. Good job. Thank you. This is, I think, one of the best ones we've ever had. Let's see. Ma'am, I've had you talk like a couple. Anybody else? Scott?
I was going to talk about the railroad. Change the topic.
No, thank you, Scott.
Speaking of quiet zones and stuff, the city's more concerned about how many chickens people have than barking dogs. So they spent a whole year trying to figure out how many chickens you can have. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the railroad relocation. I think there's a lot of confusion out there about how much land that actually is going to be. So I'll let you talk about how much land that's going to be and what actually is going to happen. I got a mailer, and I know you don't run Michelle Overbach's re-election campaign, but I got a mailer from her yesterday, and she talked about a quiet zone being developed from this railroad relocation. And I have no clue what she's talking about because I live a couple blocks south of that space, and a lot of the railroad tracks are still going to be there, even if that space, and it's also in the flight path of a Vera McKinnon flight and the airport landing. So I'm kind of confused about what she means by quiet zone. Are we going to dig a hole in the ground or something and cover ourselves up? I don't know. But if you could explain what exactly is happening if it does happen.
Scott, good job. And Scott's right. I'm not running her re-election campaign, so I don't know what the mailing was. He said a word exactly, and I can't do that. Okay, but I'll try to give you a vision on what we're hoping, and that is when the deal is inked with Burlington Northern. Okay, that's the rail folks that own that property today. When the deal is inked, what will happen is that all of those railroad tracks down there, all but the two that are on the far east side, okay, those will all be removed. And they've got up to 2 years after the deal is inked to remove those tracks. There will be approximately a little less than 10 acres of land that will be then available for development, creating new places to work, new places to live, new places to play, whatever it would be. Okay, so that is the ultimate in terms of goal. What's going to happen now? There are still going to be rail trains going through there. Okay, on those two far east tracks. Okay, so that's still going to happen. Scott, what else are you looking for, man? Help me.
What, you know, is there something that you know? What's this quiet zone? I really don't know what she's talking about.
Quiet zones are used across the country with rail lines, and they do different things. They can actually they can implement certain things to try to make, for example, trains coming through. They won't honk their horns. They create an environment where it's still safe to proceed, but they don't blow their horns at 4 a.m. in the morning. So I don't know if that's what she's talking about, but
well, I hope they do. I mean, you don't want any accidents happening. I hear the trains every morning. I actually sleep in the basement of my house because of all the trains where I live. But I still hear the horns. They have to do that. You don't want them running cars over and killing people. I mean, I guess I'm confused that. I know we're moving a lot of tracks, but there's still going to be a lot of train traffic downtown.
Definitely.
That's not going anywhere.
No. That train traffic's going. There's still going to be train traffic. The only way you'll probably get the trains to quit blowing their horns is we're going to either have to build a bridge over the road or a tunnel underneath the road so that those trains can proceed without stopping traffic. That's probably that's the only way. So good job, Scott. Thank you. Others, welcome. Good to have you here. What do you folks think? I mean, this has been an interesting. I hope you've been. This has been an interesting one.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh, here, go right ahead, sir.
I don't usually talk. I've lived here about 13 years. I come from Worthington, Minnesota.
Welcome.
They have their problems, and I think the police department here and stuff, from my knowledge, they do an excellent job. You know, I tell people sometimes, it used to be they just used to have to go out and pick up the bad guy. Now they got to go out and pick up the bad guy. They're loaded down with a bunch of paperwork. They're loaded down with court appearances. And, you know, I know for every one red light runner, 20 didn't get away. But they're doing a good job, I think, and the best they can. And I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just the town where I want to be.
Well, and I'm glad you chose Sioux Falls to live.
I like it here.
Well, good. Well, and we have got such a great community here. We've been named one of the top retirement communities in America, and we actually still get snow. So that, I mean, to me, that's a big deal. If we can be named one of the top retirement communities in America, and we've got this incredibly bad weather for at least 4 months of the year, then we've got a good thing going here. Now, are things perfect? No way. They're not perfect. Do we still have disagreement? Absolutely, we still have disagreement. Are we going to have emergencies that we're going to have to overcome, or tough issues that we're going to have to address? You betcha. But I will compare the city of Sioux Falls against any in America right now. Any in America. I mean, financially, we are rock solid. We've got record construction, and we've got new jobs being created. We've got some of the best health care in America. Our confidence level is strong. You know, there's so many good things going on. Now, we can certainly focus on the bad things. We can, but I choose to focus on, preferably on, not only just the issues. I want to focus on the opportunities. I am. And this gentleman here, I'm not going to compare Worthington to Sioux Falls, but he did make a decision on where he was going to live, just like all of you. For some reason, whether you are mad about something or not, you have picked this town to live in.
That's because there's no state income tax and no personal and no inheritance tax. I just talked to a gentleman the other day. He said he came from Minnesota. Why'd you come from Minnesota? He said there's no inheritance tax here and there's no state income tax. had nothing to do with anything other than taxes.
Yeah, thank you. If I can, we all have our own personal reasons why we moved here, okay? Some people moved here for healthcare. Some people moved here for safety. Some people moved here for quality of life investments. Some people moved here for family. Some people moved here because of the good tax environment, okay? We all have our reasons. But I guess my point is that we're still living here. We are. No one, I mean, look at this. Look at this. This may have been one of the biggest listening and learning sessions that I've had in the 4 years that I've been your mayor. Has it been easy today? No, it hasn't. But it has been a ton of fun, and I'm learning, and guess what? No one has thrown one punch today. No one. No one. And we're going to leave here, and we're going to go back, and we're going to live our life, and we're going to still love our town. We are. And that's what I just love it. So good job. Sir, you did have one more comment?
I was just going to make a comment. I heard one of my friends behind me make a comment. I come here because of my wife. Well, that was true. She changed career and went back to school, and we ended up over here. I did not come. I got lucky because there was no state income tax, but I didn't. That was not in my plan.
Very good. Very good. Good job. Yes, welcome. I'm going to go to this gentleman. It's good to see you.
Oh, to this gentleman's comment back here about Michelle. But just heard her on Castle Radio the other day about quiet zone with the idea that you don't blow the whistle over the intersections. Instead, your idea was having the alarm come down to stop the train. If that kind of helps.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's one thing too about listening and learning sessions. I've been bailed out more times than not by people that have been in the audience who said, hey, I know the answer to that, Mayor. So thank you. Thanks for bailing me out again. Well,
I'm just on the positive. I know I started with this Phillipper thing. I have,
that's okay.
Yeah, I have actually emailed you a couple of times. My response has been wonderful. I've emailed you, and you immediately, within 24 hours, had an email back to me, plus told me who was going to answer my questions, who also emailed me back immediately. So I do it by email, but I think your response team and you have done a great job as far as listening and answering questions that we have. And thank you for the mayor's picnic. And the other thing I watched one time on one of your listening and learning was the kids and how you taught them how to shake hands and introduce themselves. And I thought that was a really good role model and a really good thing that kids need to learn how to do.
well, thank you. One of the things I learned, I came from, as you know, I was 25 years in business, corporate America. We had these, what we call presidential communication teams there. Now what happened is that if anybody ever complained to the president or the CEO, we immediately had a team of people that would do their best to respond in a timely fashion, okay? So if you come to the mayor's office, or you call the mayor, or you email the mayor, whatever it would be, I'm not going to guarantee you that I will respond to you immediately because I'm not the expert, but we've got a team of 12 that will get that message to them and say, get a response back on that particular inquiry. So just something that I learned in business that I'm trying to now bring into government. And then again, I love these listening learning sessions. Usually they're filmed, and we should have had this one filmed. This would have been great for Channel 16. But it's okay, it's okay. Oh yes, ma'am. Okay, good. I've got 5 minutes for you.
Explain the basics of that shade places. I don't know, because apparently I probably don't know, because I do not understand it.
Shape. The question there, and I think there was a very, Pete, I think this is an appropriate comment, and that's and I don't know if you heard that, but there was a comment about shaped places, and she said, you know, Mayor, it's a hard one to understand, so I'll probably vote no because I don't understand it. I think that's fair. I think that happens a lot on things when people vote. You know, if they don't understand something, their general inclination is, well, I'm just going to vote no. Okay. Shape Places, I don't know if it was Scott Urshman or somebody's talked about, it's a 300-page deck or something like that. To simplify it, what it is it's a mechanism, a policy guideline, or a policy manual to basically help us kind of plan and zone our city moving forward. And it went through a variety of different meetings and due diligence stages by the community, by a development community, by city government, and so many others. They went through all this. They updated our planning and zoning kind of, I guess, Scott, what you call a policy manual?
Yeah, it's a zoning policy manual. The thing is, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm going to anyway.
Go ahead, come on. And then we'll answer it.
This is how I look at it. When the city council approved Shape Places, they approved it in one vote. Now, I want you to imagine going in and signing your home mortgage. How many signatures did you have to put on that thing? 20? And can you imagine if somebody handed you your home mortgage, about like that thing, and said, oh, you just have to sign this once? It's pretty much what the city council did. They took a 300-400 page document, voted on it once. They didn't split it up into things. I've been telling people that it's an actually very good document. There's a couple little problems with it. And I've been telling people, vote no, and then the city council can revisit it and fix the problems that are in it. That's what I'm not telling you how to vote. Well, I am, but that's how I look at it. If you vote for it, they're just going to implement it how it is. And like I said, the city council voted on this in one vote, a 300-page document. It's pretty insane, and a lot of them admitted that they didn't even read it. So.
Well, I normally don't defend the city council at every stretch, but I am going to defend the city council. I mean, folks, you can't imagine the amount of work and effort that a city councilor puts in when they're working, when they're representing you. I mean, you can't imagine it. It's an unbelievably time-consuming role. The sacrifices that they make. So I don't know if it's appropriate to say, well, they didn't do their due diligence because they didn't read the entire document. I don't know if that's appropriate. And Scott, I respect your comment. I'm just going to respectfully disagree. There are documents all the time that are expansive in nature that you have to rely on the folks that were the experts that they did the right thing. Whether it be the legal team, whether it be the public works team, whether it be the planning and zoning team, these are experts that are in the field that have been hired to do this stuff, okay? And that was what was done with Shape Places. It had an expansive review that went on for years. Thousands and thousands of hours were spent on that. And the city council, they took that thing unbelievably seriously, just like they do all these things. They do. Now, is the document perfect? Like Scott said, probably not. Probably not. But that's what happens with just generally everything. So, but again, you folks have to decide. You folks have to decide. But I do think that I think that's an appropriate comment that was made here. Is that sometimes when people go into the voting booth, if they don't understand it, their general inclination is, I vote no. I think that's fair. Good job. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to make just one comment on, not so much on Shape Places, but we have a city council that in Sioux Falls doesn't consider itself much of a legislative body at this point. We have experts that are appointed by the mayor or by the directors that are in these departments, and we have to start holding the city council more accountable. And the problem with Shape Places and a lot of these documents and the things that are, now we have these 7 ballot issues on the ballot that we all have to decide on. And we have to start making the city council be more of a legislature, because that's what they are. They aren't a rubber stamp for anybody, and when the mayor proposes something, the city council can actually come in with their own proposal and put it forward. And we just wanted to make sure that in this discussion, Shaped Places is one of those areas where many of us don't feel the city actually went in and did the full process that they should have gone through. The citizens decided that it needed to be discussed and make another look at it. And that's all that these ballot issues are, and pass it back to you.
Good job, thank you. Well, folks, I want to thank you for today. I really do. This has been, again, I think one of the, I'm 10:30, I've got another event at 10:30. I do want to thank you for this opportunity to engage all of you. It's been one of the largest crowds we've ever had at a listening and learning session. I love it. You could have been anywhere today.
Free coffee.
It's a fairly nice day, but you decided to come here. You wanted to be engaged in your government. You wanted to engage me. I think that's wonderful. I do. And I want to thank you, Gerald. I want to thank you as well for allowing us this opportunity. And all I'll say is that if I have the opportunity to serve again, I'll come back here and I'm going to keep doing these listening and learning sessions just because I had a great time. I'm going to turn it over to Gerald. You want to kick me out of here, buddy? Okay.
Actually, since I'm your secretary, I wanted to give you this note.
Thank you. There it is. And this is about that sign, that sign that is in the way. So I'll follow up on that. And Gerald, I thank you.
I'm sure you will. He always does. Whether you like his answer or not, he does respond. Again, we'd like to thank the mayor for taking time on Saturday morning to come out and talk about some of these issues. And I do know he's got another conflict in a few minutes. Ironically, yesterday I received a phone call from numerous people about shaping places. And this morning, who was going to drop off some literature is Ron Nelson, who I'd consider somewhat of an expert on this. I know you need to leave.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you all. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Enjoy your day. Hey, and everybody, use your turn signals, right? Be safe. Well, we'll do our best to catch the bad guys. Thank you all.
Can I take your coat?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Scott. All right, thank you. Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Ron indicated he only wanted maybe 3 minutes after the mayor's conversation this morning, and Ron has his own development company. I think he's been involved in many of the development policies in the area. I know Ron well enough that he says if he's only going to take 3 minutes, it'll probably only take 5, but we would love to have Ron make some comments. Ron, if you've got 2 minutes, just introduce yourself and talk about your program and why you're here this morning. Thanks, Ron, for coming.
Thank you, Gerald. I just walked in the last few minutes of the mayor's comments, and I heard comments brought up about shaped places and some of the concerns about it. And I thought, man, I came at the right time, because I'm here to talk about why I think it would be a good idea to vote yes on shaped places. I've been in the commercial real estate business 28 years, and I am involved in rezonings and conditional use permits. 95% of the things that come before the city are routine, that have no controversy, and we go through a lot of extra steps that are not good utilization of the city's resources. Our zoning laws are 30 plus years old, and much of the reason that we go through a lot of extensive work is because we didn't even know in 1983, or they didn't know when the rules were made, how the city was going to evolve. And so we've kind of, as a city, the city has tried to adapt with rules that don't exist because of opportunities that we've grown as a city to, they've essentially tried to adapt when there wasn't really rules in place to make that adaptation. So I think after 30 years, it's time to create something that is more updated. So how does the Planning Commission of the city go about doing that? Well, they've studied this for 5 years. They have put numerous groups together, of which I was a part of for about 18 months in helping write Shape Places. They reached out to everybody that's affected in the industry, everybody that's doing this, as well as anybody citizenry-wise who might want to participate, and put an open invitation out there and said, we want to hear from you and what is the best way to update our zoning ordinance. And for 18 months, our group was involved in writing that, and they reached out to us people in the field that are doing this every day and said, you know, what do you think? And you know, it was a very good, fluid, back and forth type of dialogue. There was over 60 public meetings seeking input from the public and saying, here's what we're trying to do. What do you see wrong with this? Is there areas that we could make changes? Is there areas we can make improvements? And with all of that, it went before the Planning Commission and the City Council, and said, you know, and I testified at both of those meetings and asked them to approve it. Kind of as the mayor said, you can't expect the City Council to be an expert on everything, and they reached out to the Planning Commission and all of the community to create this updated ordinance. And I think the City Council has to trust their judgment. One of the councilors asked me, do you have any problem with delaying it any further? I said, I don't. You know, but at some point, you know, you can beat the horse to death, you know, and I don't know what further information we'll get by looking at it, you know, another month, another 6 months. But I said, absolutely, take as long as you need. But, you know, again, I think that after 5 years, 60 meetings, you know, what more is there that you could learn from it? So the platform that I have some literature that I'll just have out front, there's a website
Come on, Soda Pop, let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on.